Bang, there we are, bro.
Bang, as they say. Is that what the kids say these days? Bang. Boom, here we are. Another night. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you are, Tex and Ads here with you as always. If you like what we're sharing, if you're picking up what we're putting down, hit that subscribe button and follow us over at Unity Trading Group or come into the Discord. Interesting little development since our updates last night where we spoke about this supply zone being in play and a strategy for those that might like to look at layering in shorts from where we were last night at around that 11.5 area to where we are now at around this 11.750. Certainly still could be a valid play, and it played out exactly as we sort of were saying in terms of the indicator levels, most notably being steamroller. And the reason why, if you were looking for shorts in this particular area, layering them in as we approach supply, because of the expectation of where we would see steamroller at this point, which, admittedly looking at steamroller in the past and where we are now after these little runs, looking likely for a potential pullback here. So Ads, we're at this supply zone, we're at this fib level. What are we making of this?
Well, right now, this supply level that we're seeing on the chart as we speak is the level that's being drawn on a daily time frame. So I'll zoom out to a daily and just give you an idea of how it's drawn in. So there it is, just to the left here, and we've got that level respected as of right now. However, on a 4 hour, if I go back to the 4 hour and I open this up a little bit, we do have our major pivot point up the top here. And for the moment, I haven't extended that level of supply up to, that level, that pivot level up the top, but there is a significant point there also. So just be mindful that that 12K level here, which is a 4 hour level of demand. I've ruined that. That's now ruined. Oh, that's
ruined. Sorry, Rob.
Anyway,
pack it up. Let's go.
Yeah. But anyway, just to give you an idea, that there at 12,000 even pretty much is our 4-hour level of supply, which does just sit right on top of that level on a daily time frame. So, if you wanted to, you could extend your daily level out if you liked, or you could just run with the 4-hour. But that 12,000 is going to be that psychological resistance, and might serve for the last final push that we might see on BTC to try and get to that highest level of overbought. So look, we could start to descend from here, like we did mention, and that would be a valid play. Seeing that we're in a daily level of supply. However, just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind that 12K 4-hour level up the top here is just sitting on top. So if you wanted to, like I said, extend out your daily level, or just keep that in the back of your mind, Ty.
Yeah, 100%. It's that's about everything. Unless there's something you wanted to add, it might be time to have a look at the BTC Dominance chart, and then we'll get into some of the other alts, being FUSD, and then we'll get into the reg stuff.
Yeah, so just like I said, keep that in mind, and I'm sure you'll be fine. Moving on to the BTC Dominance chart, I did post this in the Discord today, and it looks like our plan B is playing out like I did mention, as well as I thought it would. So I put 2 scenarios on the board really with this today in the Discord on the 4-hour time frame. I was looking at this level of supply up here that we have very, very notably on a BART really, when we came up, created this level, this pivot level, and then came all the way back down. So a very easy one to find, and I gave 2 scenarios where we would start to move down from the 786 where we were trending underneath at the time, and we could potentially move back down to this level of demand before retesting or getting a test of this level of supply up here. But it's obvious now that plan A is going out the window, because we closed above that 786 trend base fibs. So we're going to get that plan B possibly playing out. So what I was looking for was this to be tested, based on our pivot point at the left here, and then we could possibly get a further retracement all the way back down towards our better level of demand. That would play nicely into the hands of Steamroller, where it's been fairly accurate in recent history with the BTC Dominance chart, and it's looking like it's the same might be playing out for now, Ty, I reckon.
Yeah, it's it's all good and well when excuse me, it's all good and well when everyone's making profit in moves like this, but just as we say all the time, don't get caught in the euphoria of moves to the upside and throw your trade plan out of place, or think that you can be in deeper positions or higher leveraged amounts because you're trying to chase that last little bit or that last little squeeze, or if you think things are going to continue either way they are. This market can go either way, but all I'm saying is that have proper risk management in place, abide by your plans, whether things are going well or they're not. The trade plan doesn't change, and your mentality shouldn't either. So treat these moves that we're seeing in the last couple of days as any other type of move, and don't get caught in the euphoria of seeing profits and think that everything goes out the window from there.
Speaking of trade plans, we've got something to share
what a segue.
Guys. Yes, the segue.
Yeah,
tell us, Ty, tell us.
So this Thursday, we will run our trade plan episode. We were hoping to do it tonight. We just ran out of time. We've been really busy behind the scenes here at UTG with a few other things. But when it comes to trade plans, this Thursday night, we are going to sit down and we are going to run you through a trade plan using our trade plan template and everything that you can purchase on the website. It's only $15, and it's a fully customizable, very in-depth. It's good to get inside your own head and document things on paper. We don't do it because it's something that we buy or we sell, rather. You can use any sort of trade plan online, but we're going to show you start to finish, a sensible base for a trade plan, keeping in mind that what we share is really just our opinions. But certainly if you're struggling with trade plans and how to keep yourself accountable when it comes to trading and to really have something solid in place, don't miss out on Thursday night. We're going to run you through it.
Absolutely. So that'd be a good one. Make sure you don't miss it.
100%. All right, let's get into it and have a look at FUSD at the moment.
FUSD, admittedly, I haven't looked at this today, and I haven't looked at what has resulted over the course of last night. And no surprise with this one, bro. We're really looking for a level in which we'd get rejected or create that lower high. I know, admittedly, yesterday we were looking more towards a lower level before a movement down. That's fine. Retesting or getting close to retesting that level of supply is still valid in the way of market structure. So we've got that higher high, lower low, and then a lower high before a movement to the downside. If we do, move significantly to the downside on BTC, this is going to be the premise for that. This is going to really tell us where we can expect it to go. So, what I mean by that is that we have a level of demand that's very, very easily broken here. So we've obviously pushed through that level quite significantly already. So we can expect this to continue further down, possibly to our 61.8, 357 mark, or even further down to our level of demand, where I've got that drawn in at 352. So whether or not that means you could expect some movements in similar fashion towards BTC if we do get a rejection off this level of daily supply that we're looking at on the higher time frame for BTC, and ETH looking the same, where we're going to get that lower high printed and possibly move to the downside if we don't get some drastic volume increase over the next little bit, Ty, I reckon.
Yeah, and it's always mindful, as we often say, to look at FUSD as a precursor to what might be for BTC moves, particularly on the smaller time frame. So it's interesting that this played out as we sort of said. We were maybe expecting lows before a high and then a low, but looking at where we are now, it's an interesting little point. Keeping in mind the significance of that 370 level that we've spoken about a fair few times. So look to see what happens at that 38 level. Whereas if we do break below, then as we sort of said, this looks to be in play, this 50 fib and this lower demand zone.
Yeah, and we can't really discount what our indicators are telling us. Steamroller is a given.
Yeah.
CCI, giving us that overbought condition, up the top here. And then RSI now trending below that 50 median line.
Below the 50, yeah. And as we've sort of mentioned, for those who haven't watched this before or seen some of our sessions, we talk about the significance of the 50 acting as a level of support for our oscillator, our RSI oscillator, when it's above, and as a level of resistance below. So for those who use oscillators or RSI in particular, it's a handy little tip to look out for, and you can see now where we are trending. So interesting to see. And you would see maybe one episode or a few episodes ago, we spoke about the significance again of this parallel channel on Steamroller, where you can see that it's acting as a level of support when we start breaking in it. And as we said last night, with BTC and Steamroller being in that overbought condition, you would expect, if we do come back down towards this demand zone and this 50, we would probably be towards the lower realms of this parallel zone where a bounce might be in play. So keeping in mind that when you're playing with these oscillators, that's a little bit of extra data that you can pull from that if you don't have predefined levels of support, resistance, or your fibs drawn up, or whatever else that you might be using to gauge levels of support or resistance.
Yeah, absolutely. All
right, let's listen. For alts, the same thing still remains. I haven't touched any alts. I did put a play on ADA BTC yesterday, which didn't play out. Again, good to be humbled by that. I thought I'd saw an inverse head and shoulders. It had occurred at the bottom of a move. There was a slight sort of move if you look at the formation itself, but rejected pretty hard today and broke through what was a pretty sturdy trend line. So that's me now out of alts, and I'm just back to focusing on BTC and F at the moment. No alt plays for me whatsoever.
There's been a whole lot of slippages on these altcoins. Like if you look at something like, I think I looked at Ontology before, and I was looking on a higher time frame on a daily, and I had to draw, honestly, and it's sad to see, but I had to draw a trend-based Fibonacci to see where this would stop to the downside, because there is no data left to the left-hand side to really gauge where this would stop here. So, bear in mind that this is a slipping market in the way of altcoins right now, and most altcoins are trending in that same direction, i.e., everything on this list to the right-hand side that you can see. So just bear in mind that your indicators are going to be oversold for quite some time. and they could still slip even further depending on what the BTC dominance chart does, and where we get rejected, if we do get rejected on that level of supply, referring back to that BTC dominance. So just keep that in mind. Some of the in a highly slippage market, indicators in general are going to be a little bit unreliable, because they're going to stay quite oversold for some time. That's all.
Yeah, and in instances like that, you can sometimes go to the even higher time frames, whether it be the 2-day or the 3-day, where your indicators might give you a little bit more data of reaching an oversold or an overbought condition. So that's an option as well. But
Absolutely.
Using those trend-based fibs, or even if you were to draw your fibs from potentially high to a swing low, you might see a 27, a 27 extension level down here. But what ads has done is a great way of doing it as well when you've got limited data to pull from.
Yeah, so if you haven't used the trend-based Fibonacci extension tool or trend-based Fibonacci tool yet or at all, it's basically a swing high to a swing low to back to a swing high to really give you the ultimate trend of a slipping or an ascending market structure where you don't have data previously to the left to really compare against. So if you're drawing something like this, obviously for Ontology, for Ontology's sake, we're looking at the 786 extension there at 428 sats, and then looking no further than that right now. So that's definitely on the cards for Ontology if we're looking at this case, isolated this case. But it's going to hold true for a lot of these alts. Like if you look at RVN, for example, I've done the exact same thing. We're already at that 786, and like I did mention previously, these indicators, doesn't matter what indicator it is, it can be the best indicator in the world. If we see a market that starts to slip for an extended period of time, you're going to see these indicators stay around that lower band or that lower area. Vouching for RSI here, we know how accurate that can be over the longer time frames, and we're sitting around that 2025 RSI for quite some time while this is still slipping to the downside. So just keep that in mind.
100%. All right, let's have a look at the DXY. And of course, if you do see these streams and there are things you want us to chart, let us know inside Discord and we can look at them each Tuesday or Thursday night. Of course, when we're looking at the DXY, the Forex on the regulated markets is just opinion and our bits of, our little tidbits. We're not saying anything or take anything that we say here as gospel and trade on it. If you do want more trade information, you can speak to your own financial advisor.
Thank you, sir. So with the DXY, the US dollar currency index, we're really observing last night how we thought that this would continue downside and retest our level of demand. It has exceeded our expectation for that and exceeded our expectation for the continuation of the overall trend, obviously being bearish, considering all things considered, the global financial situation and the situation in America and all the rest of it. So that supply, like I did this morning, is now gone, and I have deleted that off the chart, and we are seeing that continuation follow through over the course of tonight, and hopefully into the course of the higher volume session for this evening, and more than likely continue all the way back down towards our 78, 88, and 100 Fibonacci levels. Most notably 88.6 and that 100% fibs where we did bounce off before. Now that we have the momentum, this bearish momentum over the next little bit, and we've seen that occur where we've reached these lower lows and lower highs, we are continuing to the downside, and more than likely, pending a stop back here where we did bounce previously, I think we'll get to our level of demand finally at 92, 892. So that's where I really think the US dollar is going primarily, and if we look at a higher time frame, a daily time frame, our structure or our trend is just continuing. If we zoom all the way out, we are seeing this market slip even further, and we're just seeing a little bit of a hold up here where we bounce in between two ranges, the ranges being 91.6 and 94.6. So we have bounced off that 94.6 level with quite some authority, and now we are moving back towards that 91.6 on a higher time frame, obviously looking at that. But not getting too ahead of ourselves in the interim on the smaller time frames, we are moving towards that 92. I'll move that down so we can get a better look at it. 92.901 area for the shorter term swing tie. So not a bad little one, and obviously doing exactly what we anticipated this to do. There's a couple of fibs sitting there to get our levels right. So yeah, 92.90 is what I'm looking for the DXY. Moving on, however, we'll have a quick look at gold, and then we'll have a look at some of the indexes for stock. There was a little bit of action today, finishing off the day on the All Ordinary. So we'll have a quick look at that. But gold's not really reacting to or much to the downside that the DXY is presenting it that the DXY is presenting at the moment. We are seeing an upwards channel forming there for gold, but no real smash of volume, no real increase of price just as yet. So gold, I'm looking to really come up and give us that retest of that 23.6 over the course of this week. More than likely coming into I think Thursday we'll probably see that gauging some of this structure, some of this price action that we're seeing now. So not a lot of volume coming into gold, and that comes down to that uncertainty around the global financial markets. We saw back in March that gold, silver, the stock market, the DXY, BTC was not immune from that black swan dump that we saw in March. So if we do see an event like this occur again, it could happen again, where we see gold, silver, the DXY, everything just falling or free falling, and that's more than likely the reason behind that we're seeing a very slow moving market at the moment, because not much is happening over the course right now or in the US markets. However, this is another segue tie into our All Ords chart, or into the stock market index, where we did see quite a sharp or a 0.6% movement downwards before the day ended, and this is looking good for this supply to be held. All right, because we did close now underneath this level, and we have been rejected off this multiple times now. So another couple of days of this, and we're going to be headed down and continuing towards these areas of Fibonacci. So it's going to be an interesting one over the next little bit. And if we do get that movement downwards, on the stock market index, that could provide that upwards momentum for gold. So we are seeing that play out. So over the next little bit, probably not tonight, but like I said, more than likely into Thursday, we'll see gold and the indexes play kindly to what we're saying. But yeah, really, that really wraps us up in the way of our market update. It is a short one tonight. Obviously, there's not a whole lot to talk about with the premise of BTC. Some of the alts are being misbehaving a little bit, but we are seeing major slippages in the market. And we are seeing, some slippages on the DXY and of course the market indexes in the way of stock. So it's going to be an interesting night, and it's going to be interesting to revisit this on Thursday night.
100%. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We'll be back for tomorrow's video update. And don't forget, on Thursday night, we'll be going through trade plans. You do not want to miss that. For anyone that has any insecurities or mental battles or anything that you have with sticking to a plan, this is going to be a good way to maybe help you get back on track or help you along the way. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and visit us at unitytradinggroup.com and come into the Discord, all that good stuff. We do all this 100% free. There is no paid membership or anything like that behind it. We do this because we love it. We love to share. So come on over, chat, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys in the Discord. If not, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Bye-bye.